Hey friends, it's Paige Evans and I want to do another show and tell, a walkthrough of my October mini album for 2022. I know my last video was my October album for 2021, and in the spirit of the spooktacular season, I got right to work on my album for 2022, and here it is. Once again, the size is 4x4. I'm using a current mini album from We Are Memory Keepers, which is available on scrapbook.com. I can leave a link to it in the description. And for the charms, they are attached onto the spine. The skeleton fairy is from Joann a few years ago. The charm is from Emily Inspired Designs. Hi, Amy, go on, go on. And this super cute baddie charm was from an advent that I purchased from Shara Crane a few years ago. So those are all of the things that I've got dangling off my album. I have several different titles that I call this project, either in October occasionally, because we don't do something Halloween related every day, just occasionally, or in October not so daily, again, because we don't do Halloween related things every day, but just once in a while, or just my October mini album. So in preparation for this album, I did hand stitch a few papers from the Die Cuts with a View paper pads that came out this past year at Joann stores. So this first intro page is a hand stitched spiderweb paper, and then I added some Prima things and a title. These are from Ellie's Studio a few years ago. On almost every page, I added some ribbon trim and or a custom page turner. So this page turner is made with little tassels, thread tassels, clipped onto a teeny tiny paper clip. Here's another page that I hand stitched. So it is an argyle paper from one of the Die Cuts with the View paper pads, and then embellished with mini alphabet stickers to say spooktacular, added a little piece of a border sticker and a cute spider. The first picture we come to is 4x4 in size, so all of my photos throughout this album are either 4x4 or 2x2, and I use Photoshop and Picasa to create collages. Actually, I do have a few collage photos, we'll get there, so those are smaller than 2x2, but they are printed on a full 4x4 paper. For 4x4 photo, and I got all my pictures printed at Walgreens. They are amazing. They have 50% off coupons every single day, and one time my order was ready within 7 minutes, so it was crazy. From the time I hit send, I got the email that it was ready to be picked up in 7 minutes. So here's the page turner as a skeleton. I believe this is a Simple Stories collection. And then for my journaling, I created these tags, something that I love to do for 4x4 albums because it makes it fun and interactive, and they just slip in between the photos. Here we go. First day of October means we dress up in all of our Halloween gear for the entire month. I also used the same paper tab die cut that I designed for my previous album a few weeks ago. So this way I could include lots of pattern papers, which is my favorite product. So very similar in style to the album I just made, and that's because I just made them within a few weeks ago, but the memories are different and cherished, and I just love how they both turned out. So here's a little sequin shaker pocket with some sequins that I picked and pulled from a few different packs, and then the little page turners, a little skeleton and dangly ball on a paper clip stapled in place. So the sequins, I love that they're visible from both sides of the pocket transparency. So this page is the back side of a hand-stitched page, so it's kind of a little messy, so I just added a random assortment of alphabet stickers to say decorating time, and then added two 2x2 photos. These are all of my October albums, and then these are the hand-stitched pages that you'll see throughout this album. So here's stitched polka dots, and then I added teeny tiny spider and star stickers in the gray circles. Time to decorate. So this year we got just a couple new things. So I talk about that on this custom journaling tag that I made. We got a new table table runner, tablecloth, and then we strung some lights around the banister for the first time. Not battery operated, so we don't have to keep changing the batteries every few days. So that's awesome, and it really added to our spooktacular decorations. I filled these 2 pockets with buttons, so the page is pretty thick, but I just love how chunky the album turned out in the end. This year we set up all of our haunted house Legos, and the cats didn't even play with them all that much, which was awesome. And once again, I love how you can see the buttons from the front side and the back side. We always kick off October by visiting Spirit Halloween, so here's a picture of Fox and Jane inside, and then Jane found this cool rainbow hat. Fox turned 12. Looks like I need to stick this number back in place. I will do that afterwards. Fox turned 12 and I was actually gone teaching at She Loves Color on his 12th birthday, but don't worry, because then we went to Disney World and we had a joint birthday party with his best friend Brady at a place called Slick City. So here is a couple pages about that. Then we came back to our house and opened presents and ate this fantastic, not fantastic, fantastic jack-o'-lantern ice cream cake. So these page turners are jack-o'-lantern wood veneer that I stapled in place. Just helps make turning the pages a lot easier. This was my view on my standing desk, basically the entire month of October, so had to include that, and says the best view. This intricate doily pumpkin is from my 20 days of Halloween cut files from last year. I didn't do a set this year, and that's okay. I did them in 2020 and 2021, so just took a break for this year. So here is a little pink pumpkin attached onto a star paperclip stitched in place, and then I also stapled a little piece of ribbon on the side to help make turning the pages easier, and then also added hole reinforcement punches so that because this doily is so delicate, I don't want it to tear, so sandwiching some of those punches back to back just ensures that it won't tear over the years. New addition to our family this year is Sandy the rag doll. So here is a cute full 4x4 photo of her, and then another tag with journaling all about it. The ribbon trim, the back-to-back kitties for the page turner. And we still have Amy. So there's Amy, and I love her so much, it's scary. So there's a little journaling card, and see, I love how this journaling card is 3x4, so it's a different size. I just love having all of these different sized elements, makes turning every page a delight. I've been waiting 29 years for Hocus Pocus 2, finally released on Disney Plus, so we watched it together as a family. I made a mini tag, so this mini tag's got journaling on the front and back. The back side, I'll show you in just a sec. Here's a photo flip up of Amy. She was all up in the tree when we were setting it up. It's not a Christmas tree, it's a Halloween tree. And there's a little flip up so you can see those cute pictures of her. So then on the back side, again, that little tag, it's got journaling about the scary movies that we saw in the theater. I listened to the Morbid podcast. We watched The Watcher on Netflix. So 'tis the season for spooky movies. Here are some of the projects that I worked on. So it's got my albums, the tabs, and then the die cuts that I sorted. Another mini tag with journaling all about it, and journaling for Fox's costume. Oh my goodness, he wanted to be an inflatable Pikachu, so I scoured the internet and found one, and when it arrived, we immediately tried it on and just laughed so hard. It's just so ridiculous and funny, so we, really loved it. I made a shaker, a sequin shaker from one of the frames in my Halloween cut files from last year. I think there's a set of 9 or 10 frames, and so cut one out, added the transparency pocket, stitched it closed, and this one says scary, but I added not so scary because, how can Pikachu be scary? And then the back side, I backed it with another frame that says eek. Then we get into our Disney World trip. So here is a page that I hand stitched, some cross stitches. It's a paper from a Die Cuts with a View paper pad. And all of the Disney Mickey themed stickers are from Miss Kate Cuttables. The cut file though is one of mine, which you can find in my shop. I've got a bundle of 25 Disney cut files, and we just had so much fun. It's become sort of a tradition to rotate between Disneyland and Disney World during our fall break. So we had lots and lots of fun at the happiest place on earth. I made another Mickey head border back to back. The album from 2021 had this same design, but the heads were a little bit larger, so this time I just shrunk them down. The Haunted Mansion is a favorite. And then here's another one of my cut files from my Disney bundle that says love, love, love with a Mickey head replacing the O. And then we get into the Picasa collages. There's a little piece of Sandy here. So here's a picture of Fox and Jane jumping at Animal Kingdom, and then here are the collages that I created in Picasa of day 1, day 2. Got the custom page turner, or I guess this one is just mostly an embellishment, and the page turner can be the candy corn. Flip it over, here's us leaving the Magic Kingdom. Actually, it's entering the Magic Kingdom, but you know, it kind of looks like a farewell photo. Then flip it up with the back-to-back bat stickers, and then here's day 3 and day 4. So I feel like I should include a magnifying glass with this because they're so tiny, but you know, I've got my favorite pictures printed full size, the full 4x4, and I've done an entire separate blog post about our vacation. So it's mostly just to remember, and if I really want to, I can look really carefully or, yeah, again, refer back to my blog. So back at home, I was working on Jane's costume, went to King Soopers, and they had these beautiful bouquets with fiber optics, so I definitely had to grab one of those. And then here's a back-to-back decorative border sticker. And then we did the trunk or treat at the high school, and Jane was a serial killer, and these kiddos got so many compliments about their costumes, the Pikachu and the serial killer. It was so fun. And they always get tons and tons of candy, even before Halloween. It's crazy. So I created these photo flip-ups with zigzag stitching, and then the photos are back to back so I can include even more. And flip-ups, you know, with the little stapled ribbon tabs. Look at all this candy. And that was the drive-through trunk or treat at the high school. These are some miscellaneous photos that I wanted to include. So making Halloween crafts at Nana's. I always make cupcakes. It's like the one time a year that I actually bake. My sister made these super beautiful, spooktacular, bewitching trick-or-treat bags for her 3 kids, and I loved them so much I commissioned her to make Fox and Jane one, so there they are. And then Jane got a pumpkin spice frappuccino without the coffee and coffee flavor. It's the very first time we've tried it, and it was delicious. My cute kitties, I just love them so much, have to include them anywhere and everywhere I can. There's a little journaling with a white pen on the dark background. Here's a little custom tassel. And then the parade at the school, which was super fun. They were blasting scary music from the speaker system. Jane could not be her serial killer. So we were like, well, what is she gonna wear? So we ran up to her closet, and then we remembered that she had this witch costume that arrived way past Halloween last year. So it's just been sitting in her closet. So it was perfect. She's never worn it before, and she looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So school parade, Fox was the first one out. He was leading the parade, and it was literally freezing. It was like 32 degrees. And now that Fox and Jane are in 6th and 5th grades, they were one of the first ones to be in the parades, and then I bounced. I went home. I was too cold. And then we come to Halloween, yay! It's all about the candy. So Fox's friend Brady, again, besties, came trick-or-treating with us. So took some pictures on the porch, and then I've got a tag with journaling on the back side, all about trick-or-treating around the neighborhood. Took some pictures. Here's a little spider dangly tassel, and the threads hanging off the edges. Well, I guess the trim, not threads. And then trading candy. Oh, so Fox was Pikachu, right? His inflatable Pikachu. But after one lap, he was having a really, really hard time. He could barely walk in it. So we came home and he switched into his Nighttime at Freddy's or something costume from last year, and then we did a whole nother lap, and anyway, all's well that ends well, but thank goodness for backup costumes this year. We've had to use them. Here's a bat border from my Halloween cut files last year, and then this is the last house we trick-or-treated at, which was awesomely decorated like Nightmare Before Christmas. And here is the last page, so time for treats. Okay, that is our October 2022 Spooktacular Memories in a nutshell. I will see you again next year. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Have a spooktacular day.